It has literally been 4 months since the Dallas Cowboys last took a football field, and we as Dallas Cowboys fans still get embarrassed and trolled on a nightly basis, even by our own local media, which is just weird, and is also the spark for today's Sunday conversation. DFW sports fans have had a ton to cheer for over the course of the last year or so, but lo and behold, we can't actually have fun doing that. We cannot take part in being excited for one of our sports teams, like the Mavericks when they make the Western Conference Finals, or the Dallas Stars when they also just made the Western Conference Final, or the Texas Rangers when they won the 2023 World Series. We couldn't enjoy any of that because the local media and the notable influencers and media presences for the DFW took all of those chances to punch down at the Cowboys some more. And I get it, it's a cool joke, it's gonna get you a ton of engagement, it's a little funny, but it's also just getting kind of old, man. And I'm not necessarily referring to my boy Dak for MVP here, because he's not an actual reporter or a media personality in the DFW area. I'm talking about people that have been charged with actually covering DFW sports and representing the area on a local and national stage as it pertains to the media. And those people that would much rather just troll the Cowboys instead of actually celebrating the successes of our local sports teams during the time we should be celebrating those successes. One example of this is John Machota. John Machota is actually someone I don't have an issue with as it pertains to his role in the Dallas Cowboys media, because for the most part, he's a straight shooter. Sometimes you might see some of his bias seep in here and there, but for the most part, he's a straight shooter. But literally minutes after the Dallas Mavericks secured a trip to the Western Conference Finals, the first tweet that came from one of our most prominent local media members wasn't a tweet congratulating Kyrie and Luka Doncic, wasn't a tweet talking about how the Mavericks got to this point, the trades that were made to help them achieve this status as it pertains to being one of the last 4 teams remaining in the NBA. None of these guys want to talk about that. No one wanted to congratulate our rookie center, Derek Lively, playing out of his mind during this playoff run. No one wants to talk about how wrong the media was when they were predicting a downfall for Luka and Kyrie, and they thought that it would never work as far as the union between those two guys. No one wants to talk about that. Instead, everyone wants to take this opportunity to remind all of the DFW sports fans, even though we don't need a reminder. Trust me, we're all well aware of how long it's been since the Cowboys have seen this level of success that the Mavericks, Rangers, and Stars are seeing. But everyone wants to take this chance to remind fans of DFW sports teams that the Mavericks' last trip to a championship round or a conference league championship round was 2024. The Stars' last trip to a conference championship or league round was 2024. The Rangers' last trip, which they won the World Series, was in 2023. And the Cowboys' last trip to a conference championship round was in 1995. Well, I get it. That is a jarring stat, and it is worth having a discussion, but not immediately after the game when there's so much other stuff to be talked about. There's some celebration to be had. Let DFW sports fans enjoy the moment. Why is everyone trying to sour every single moment that a Dallas sports fan can possibly have by constantly reminding us how inept the Dallas Cowboys are? We know, bruh, we don't need these constant reminders, I promise. And this is just like a small example of one of the things I just don't understand about the media. Why are you representing an area? Why are you representing a region within the media? But it seems like everything that you do, everything that you put out is designed to put people in a negative state of mind. I guess that's more so my issue with this whole thing. And I get it, it's trolling, it's nothing super serious. It's not a jailable offense or anything like that. It's nothing I'm gonna just rip someone to shreds for. It was just like, damn, bro, I was excited about the Mavericks making it to the Western Conference Finals. Like, holy crap, no one thought that they were gonna be here. And then I go on Twitter, want to talk about the game with some people, or just want to see how people are reacting to the actual game. And I gotta see people talking about the Cowboys not making it to the conference championship in the last 30 years. Bro, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's getting really old and really annoying to consistently hear Cowboys fans crying and bitching and moaning about how long it's been since we've been to a conference championship, or how long it's been since we've been to a Super Bowl. Do y'all realize that if we as Cowboys fans, if Cowboys fans are even getting tired of hearing other Cowboys fans saying that and crying and complaining about that, Could you imagine how other fans of other teams look at Cowboys fans when they constantly see us complaining and bitching and moaning about the same thing over and over and over again? No wonder so many fan bases hate us, bro, because we're crybabies. And I'm just keeping it a buck. We're crybabies, bruh. We are crybabies. There are like 15 franchises in the NFL that have never won a Super Bowl. Like, not one Super Bowl. Part of being a sports fan is just enjoying the process to seeing your team try and win. It's not all about the end result. That's the other thing I just cannot wrap my mind around as far as how people go about approaching a sports season. I've been hearing so many Cowboys fans talk about how they don't care about anything that happens in the regular season. They only care about what happens in the playoffs. If that's the point, why are you watching sports? You can find something much better to do with your time than not give a damn about an entire 4 to 5 month period in favor of only caring about a 1 month stretch of games that are being played when only one team at the end of the year is going to get crowned as champion. So why even be a sports fan? Why even watch or keep up with the sport if you don't care about what your team is doing? And I'm going to be honest, if you're a real Cowboys fan, I don't think that you would be saying that. And I don't think the real Cowboys fans are the ones out there talking about, oh, I only care about what happens in the playoffs. You want to know why I say that? Because real Cowboys fans had to live through the Quincy Carter years. Real Cowboys fans had to exist between 2000 and 2007 before Tony Romo took over all the way. Real Cowboys fans had to really go through a period of time where it wasn't a sure thing that we were going to make the playoffs. It wasn't a sure thing that we were going to win double-digit games. We had no clue what to expect from our team year to year, because one year we might be 13-3 and the next year we might be 8-8. Real Cowboys fans remember having to live through that, and real Cowboys fans can appreciate the consistent level of success that this team has shown us over the past 3 seasons. This has probably been some of the most fun I've had cheering for my team over the past 3 seasons, because the actual process to seeing if my team is going to be the last one standing has been just as fun as when we get to the point to where the playoffs roll around. Like, watching your team be good in a sport, watching your team dominate, watching players on your team build their legacies and grow their lore, that part of it is just as fun to me as watching to see who wins at the end of the season, bro. And I just really cannot get down with the type of fans who only care about what happens in the playoffs. Because again, why are you watching the sport, bro? Why are you keeping up with it at all? If that's how you're approaching being a fan, why even care at all? And if that's how you're approaching it, you also don't have any right to really be that damn mad when the playoffs roll around, because you weren't invested during the regular season. That makes sense? I don't know, man. It's just, I'm gonna be honest, it's just getting very, very annoying to constantly hear and see Dallas Cowboys fans constantly bitching and complaining and moaning and crying and trying to find any type of way to keep themselves from being too excited, because the media has trained you guys to be ashamed of being a fan of your team. The media has trained you guys to be ashamed of being optimistic about your team's chances regardless of what's happened. The media exaggerates the failure of your team so much more than that of other teams that it feels like our failures are more than that of any other team that doesn't end up winning the Super Bowl, when that's not the case. That is not the case. I'm sorry, it's not the case. Our failures are no more than that of any other team that got eliminated, bro. I'm just tired of the whole conversation, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm just not going to entertain any dialogues with people that fan that way, because that's not the type of fan I would want to sit down and watch a game with. Those of you that approach being a fan that way, you don't sound like any fun at a tailgate. You don't sound like someone I would invite to a watch party. You don't sound like somebody I would want to go and watch a game with live. You don't sound like fun to be around as a fan, and I hope that y'all are aware of that. But either way, I just kind of wanted to have this Sunday discussion with you guys, because it's just weird, bruh. It's like everything around DFW sports is built to make Cowboys fans feel worse about themselves, and it doesn't have to be that way, to be completely honest. It just does. It just does. I think people have to be mindful of who their audiences are, how serious sports fans take their sports, how much their sports and their team's success emotionally affect the fans in their area. And I think the media members that represent that specific area need to be mindful of that and need to know, like, hey, maybe I'll leave the trolling to other fan bases or other teams. Maybe I don't need this little bit of engagement that I'm going to get off of Twitter from posting this little tweet. Maybe I don't need it that damn much. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, right? It's just, maybe that's just me. But either way, we still same old Cowboys. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.